Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If money can be a why.
Well, it can be. And I'm glad you said that because it doesn't always have to be life changing, you know what I mean? Or world changing. And I do a yeah, and that goes into a presentation of mine where it's your why doesn't have to be, oh, we're going to save all the children in the world from malaria or something.
Right.
It could be we want to make enough money this year to get to next year, or we want to pay our people well so that they have benefits and retirement package, right? So,
I know a landscaping company, and the reason that they started the landscaping company is because the owner just loved to make each little spot prettier than how he found it.
yeah.
He just liked to change things around a little bit so it just looked better. So he's one yard at a time, one property at a time, trying to make things more beautiful.
Well, that's beautiful.
I know, right? I love that.
Yeah, me too. And that's like that's a sense of purpose that you can't I mean, it's just I don't know what the words are, but it's just it makes sense and it sounds like it comes from a place of passion, and that's good, right?
Yeah, one of the simple ways to find your why is just reflecting on things that you love and
Hmm.
things that you're good at and things that you value. And when those three things come into an intersection, that usually helps you understand really what you're drawn to and what motivates you without external forces.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I rely on history a lot for me, like my life history, right? Like I feel a sense of loyalty. Mine comes through loyalty, a loyalty towards the industry or whatever, and to help all the people that helped me along the way. Um, so maybe that's somewhere to start for anybody listening is just, identify any, and I did that questionnaire you sent me,
Mhm.
which was great. And it asked you what your expectations in the workplace was, like what you think the expectations are, and then what is the truth. And it was actually pretty eye-opening because you sometimes I didn't want to click things and I was like, is that true? So I had to sit and think about it. And then the loyalty word came up and I clicked it because a lot of stuff I do is because of a loyalty towards my industry and
Mhm.
people, and just that's just part of who I am. But I think for anybody listening, write down those things that resonate with you. Um, Words, just start with a word, maybe.
And that's also a part of what our process is all about, is really bubbling up things that you're not self-aware of that you can put into words. And one of these is this idea of self-concept. So when you take the behavioral assessment, as you know, you're choosing the words that you feel resonate with you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do the same exercise, but it's how you think you should show up in the workplace.
Mm-hmm.
And the farther apart those two are, the more unhappy you will be at work because you feel like you should be someone you're not in the workplace.
Mm-hmm.
And just that realization alone really helps you to articulate and get clarity about, is this the right place for me?
Yeah.
And people spend their entire lifetime being someone who they're not at work just because they feel like they're supposed to be that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And it brings up questions about yourself too, like, how much am I doing at work or whatever it is that is true to me? Like, is it
Mhm.
actually me or is it, like you said, what I'm expected to be? So I was somewhat aligned, but not fully,
Mhm.
so it was very interesting. So I'd recommend that to anybody.
And
Um,
that was kind of the impetus for the Great Resignation.
well, I was just gonna go there. You read my mind.
Of course you were. Yeah, the Great Resignation was just this aha moment in mass of, I don't feel like this is right for me anymore. And as people started to quit, it was so compelling. It was such a big drive that people just quit.
Uh-huh.
And now we're in this great realignment of where people are doing some soul searching. They are doing more self reflection and they're more aware of what they really do want and they're going after those things. The problem is that, especially if you go back to working for someone, it's an artificial environment in the interview process. I'm a great employee. This is a great place to work. And their hope is the strategy that it works out.
Right.
That's where we come in, is we're putting together a process so that the employer knows the behavioral traits and the characteristics of the people that they want for a specific role. And the employee has more self-awareness of, is this really a right fit for me? So we can kind of self-select out a number of people who won't be a good fit from the beginning. Let's go back to that company that likes to hire people who are motivated by money.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's some behavior traits that are going to come along with that.
Right.
And you want to hire those kinds of people. If that's the engine that you are relying on, you need the parts that are going to make that happen.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a feel-good company that's doing something largely altruistic, having the characteristics of the money engine isn't going to be a good fit, and it's not going to work out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Um, so to be able to design those job profiles or descriptions or whatever, I mean, every company has those, and maybe some people are thinking, oh, we already have those. Well, what is it different? What does your system do differently when in identifying that versus the guy in the business just writing it out?
Sure. So writing job descriptions is not necessarily something that people like to spend their time doing. And so they just get a list of what are the tasks that are expected of this person. Sometimes they just lift one off of another website just to get it done and get it posted.
Mm-hmm.
But those are just skills and experience. It doesn't go 3 layers deeper into what are the traits of the people that we need in this role for it to really be the best output that we have. And so we have a system where it takes you through some questions when you're posting a job. Let's say you're going to hire a project manager. A project manager can come in a couple of different forms. A project manager might be someone in the back room just babysitting the spreadsheets, right? And the Gantt charts. Some project managers are customer facing and are making sure that timelines are met and resources are allocated, etc. So having that nurturing relationship with a customer is a very different DNA than someone in the back room with the spreadsheets. So we take you through some questions that help tease out, what do you really want this project manager to show up like? And once you understand that, you've taken our behavioral assessment. Those traits are sorted into 17 different profiles.
Mm-hmm.
And so our software does a match for you based on the traits that you want for the role. Which of the 17 profiles are best suited for that job beyond skills and experience? Because the skills and experience is still a qualifier,
Of
right? That
course. Yeah.
you're gonna sort out. And then we provide behavioral interview questions that are specific to the candidate's profile,
Mm-hmm.
specific to the job, so that you have a more informed conversation and can make a more informed decision about, is this the right person that we want to hire?
Yeah.